Hey everybody, welcome to Board Game Heaven. My name is Raymond, and in this video I'm going to do an unboxing of Machina Arcana 3rd edition by Uri Bilic, as well as the expansions To Eternity and From Beyond, published by Adreama Games. Now before I do this, I'd like to point you towards my Patreon page, because if you'd like to support what I do on my channel, you can do so for as little as just $1 a month, and that will get you access to my Patreon exclusive videos and posts, as well as your name in the credits of all of my videos, and that is really appreciated and helps my channel a lot. All right, let's just start opening the boxes and see what's inside. So here is the box of Machina Arcana. This is the 3rd edition, which is basically just the same as the 2nd edition, but had a couple of typos and errors on cards fixed. Some minor things really. But yeah, I decided to get it because, you know, I just wanted to have the final edition of the game. And I also did an unboxing of the 2nd edition of the game that you can check out. If you click the eye in the corner of this video, I have since sold that and then purchased this one on Kickstarter again, just so I could have the final version. And this is also a bigger box, which is designed to hold the 2 expansions, so you can have everything in one big box, which is kind of a plus. So yeah, it is a cooperative horror adventure by Uri Bilic for, let's see, does it say? Probably on the side here, yes it does. For 1 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, plays in about half an hour to 240 minutes. And it is, of course, as you can see, Lovecraftian steampunk horror. So that's pretty cool. That's what I liked about it when I first saw the prototype at Spiel many years ago, when the 1st edition wasn't even published yet. That was pretty cool. So yeah, time flies. Let's open up the box and see what's inside. Okay, so first of all, we have the 3.0 manual of the game and a guidebook as well. So that's pretty nice. Basically, this has the entire game overview, all the rules, and the components here listed with images, which is always nice. Even a closer overview of what they all mean, what all the cards mean, and the tiles and all the icons on them. Then there's a couple of pages for the setup and the gameplay. Here it explains the units, the explorers, the monsters, several effects that they can have, the map tiles and how they work, action spaces, item cards, different chapters, because this does have a campaign story, events and abilities, how targeting works, ranged and melee, multiple targets, effects, monster behavior, and it has a table of contents if you want to look something up quickly. That is always helpful. And on the back is an overview of the most important things as a reference. Also very, very convenient. So let's see the guidebook. Read this first. So this has a bit of a story here. That's pretty cool. You can read this. Oh, look at that. Has a whole backstory with artwork. Look at that. That looks super cool. That is very nice. And it tells you how the game playthrough works. Basic symbols. So you read through that first, and here is an example of a round. So the first round is explained here. Second round. Isn't that the same? That looks like a printing error because that's page 10, page 11. This is page 14 and 11. And again 14. Oh, that's an error there. We're missing pages 12 and 13. This middle page was printed wrong on the back. Oh, that's a shame. That is such a shame. They made an error in the factory, in the printer, because obviously 11 and 14 are in the right place, but this should have been 12 and 13. Oh, that's unfortunate. Then we got round 3, so round 2 is missing. Then we got here 16 and 17, 18 and 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and how to put everything in the box, because this has a specific insert, how you put everything together. That is very nice as well. Well, that is a bit unfortunate that I had that printing error in the middle of the book there. We have these reference player aids, it says there, reference sheets. It's a bit small, the print, but I can still read it. So every player can have one of these. It's pretty thin. It's like the same paper as the rule books, but if needed, you could laminate these. All right, then we have the punch boards with all of the monsters and the tokens. And I believe these are doors. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I like the art. Art is really good. And the monsters also have their names on it, so you can instantly see what they are, because, you know, the artwork is pretty horrific, and it would be hard to tell what is what if you're not very familiar with Lovecraftian mythos. And of course, art is sometimes also a bit different between one game and the other. So yeah, there you go. These are all these characters and monsters on this punch board. There's a second punch board, again with more characters and more monsters, more of these tokens, more of these tokens. There's one punch board here extra, just black, and some more tokens here, also double-sided. So we have lots of those, 3 sheets worth. All right, so then we have this insert. Here is a tray with a filler, so it doesn't, you know, get squozen together. Because it is relatively long, so it's easy to bend. So they added this, which is not bad. I think you could actually just leave it in like this to give it a bit of extra strength, or maybe wrap it around the back. I don't know. Let's see if that works, actually. No, this is not gonna fit, I think. No, that won't work. But if you have enough room in here, I suppose this is for all the standees. I mean, it was in the book. I just have to look it up, but this makes it a little bit more sturdy. I don't know if the things will fit inside. Well, I'll have to check that out. This definitely has room for round tokens there, and for square tokens, all kinds of things. So that's nice, a dedicated spot for things, for stuff. All right, these are the tiles. Really cool looking. So let me just open that up. All right, let's just go through these here one by one. So we have a room here, the stairs, and all these gears here. There's a chest or some kind here as well, on each corner actually. We have these symbols, which I believe are the spawn zones for the monsters. And they are double-sided. Another cool room. Some walkways here. So yeah, they have like different exits here. Some don't, and some do. So, you know, like in the middle of the sides of the tiles. And it looks very, you know, dark and steampunky with all the gears and the grates. All kinds of stuff that you can discover. The chests have little valves on them. So yeah, we have that second. This is the third one. And here, there's all these tentacles coming out of the abyss. That looks pretty cool. Now we have this one. It's water falling down to that hole. That seems to be some kind of door here and there. Explosives. Cool. There's plenty of tiles for this game. Here, these corridors here. All these doors. And I like how the color is different. This is more, you know, gray and reddish, orange glow from these fires. And here it's more bluish from these crystal formations that kind of glow in the dark. And we have the, looks like lava powered conduits there. And this is more gray because of the stone. So yeah, nice and thematic. Here's another one. Here, there's more green there because of all of this slimy stuff on the floor. Right, so here the exits are actually just big holes, so I suppose you can't go there unless you have something to bridge the gap. So many tiles. A long corridor with stairs. It's pretty interesting. Here on the other side, one big open room, it seems. Then we have this one with a crevasse through the middle and some planks to bridge the gap. Here as well, and I know you can also push like enemies into the holes, and of course you can fall in as well if you're not careful. Some kind of ritual going on there. All these corpses, very creepy. Very dark. This one does not have anything on the back. I think this symbol means that that was an end room of some kind. This one as well is a different symbol. And lastly, we have this symbol as well. All right, let's continue. So next we have this board here, which has the chapter cards on it, and it is a thick double board, just like in the second edition, which has all these punched holes so you can put your tokens, these wooden cubes, in here to keep track of things here as well and here, and they won't fall out or slide off, as you can see. So that's pretty cool. Nice logo on the back. Then, and I like how this is already laid out. We have these character boards, so you can track your character card here also, you know, slot it, and track these stats here as well. Also with the logo on the back. So that is the same kind of quality we saw in the second edition, and we have one for each player on this tile. Again, with slots for smaller tokens, and here as well. So I'll check the rule book to see how that all fits in. We have a nice piece of foam to protect this layer, and this is the bottom. So I don't think there's anything underneath, but I'll check anyway. Oh, there actually is a bit of cardboard and a really nice, look at that, Machina Arcana gold-plated token there. Oops. So, oh, that is really nice, actually. Little hidden secret-y bonus there. That's pretty nice. I like that. It's a good thing I looked. And, yeah. This is the bottom tray, which has, of course, all the cards, and it has enough room for sleeved cards as well. plus the expansions. So yeah, I'm gonna check out this cool dice bag here first, which has the Machina Arcana logo on it and nothing inside, so you can put your dice in there or perhaps some tokens. So there we go. We have the chapter cards, which I will open because I am going to sleeve them, but I'm going to really quickly just browse through them. I'm not going to show you everything because I do not want to spoil the story, but just to give you an impression of what you can expect. So, you know, you have this piece of art there, and you kind of just, when you have this on the table, you can flip this over and then have the first chapter here. You can place entry token there. So, you know, it tells you what to do, and then you flip that over, and then there's the art for the second chapter, and then there's the art for the third chapter. So that's pretty cool. So basically, there's all these cards are chapters, and on the back is the art for the next chapter. So that's pretty cool. So that goes on like that's some really, really nice art there. Here's the Arctic station, you know, gates, all of these amazing locations. And well, you have these as well. Look at that. That's just so cool. I love the art in this game. It's just very, very inspiring. So yeah, those are all these big chapter cards, and you can put those in here. There's a slot here underneath, so I'll show that a bit more clearly. There, as you can see, there's a little area that's deeper than the rest, so you can easily slip your finger underneath and pick them out of that tray. So here are all these stands. We have transparent stands and black stands for all of the explorers and the characters. So plenty of those. Here are these wooden tokens that I talked about. Same as in the second edition. Again, nice with printed symbols on them, you know, the heart and the gear, and there's the electricity symbol here as well, the bolt there. So that's pretty cool to keep track of things on your character boards. So we have those. And with the dice, also same as in the second edition. We have the 3 black ones, the 3 white ones, the yellow one, and the D10. The really nice engravings. This just looks very cool in my opinion. Liking the look of that. And then of course we have a whole bunch of cards. There's a lot of them. I'm not going to show you all. A lot of them will just have text like this on them. I'll open them up and just you know, quickly take a look. So we have these cards. Nice you know, symbol on the back. Text. So things that happen basically during the game. And there's plenty of those, and they're just text and an effect, basically. This is fluff, it's just lore, basically what happens, and then at the bottom it tells you what actually happens, what you need to do. So there's a bunch of those. All right, I'll put those there. Let's take a look at these. So we have these cards, also smaller cards with this symbol on the back, really nice, beautiful colors. And we have like a bag of items that lets you operate the workbench, recharge 2 times cleansing light. There's some blue cards and some green cards. Well, maybe that was the only green card. No, there's more. So again, things that you can use, I guess. I have more green cards. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of those. They do have these symbols here. So, you know, because of the different chapters with the ice crystal there and this tower or rock, whatever it is, and the eye there. So these are for a specific chapter. Put those back. All right, let's take a look at these cards. So these are item cards, an elliptic kit, and they have this symbol on the back. You know, all kinds of items that the explorers can use with a little bit of art, like an old-fashioned blueprint. So there's plenty of those. So we have that. Let's see what's next. This seems to be weapons, so handheld weapons. There's a blade, there's a barbed whip, blood boost gun, so all kinds of things here, and all of them very cool steampunk items. That's just really cool. I love the art. Chain sword, circular saw, it's just super cool. Hunting crossbow. Look at that. A glaive. So yeah, and the cards are a decent thickness too. It's pretty good. Nice quality. So we have those. Again, more of these. There's a little difference here. These are all like weapons, and these are different things. Probably to be held in the other hand. So yeah, plenty of those as well. All right, let's take a look at this deck of cards. All right, we have these cards, which are basically like gear or armor that you can wear, things you can wear, like these boots, a curb stomper, this arm enhancement, an entire suit, displacer vest, fuzz hamata, hobnailed boots. So yeah, look at that, a helmet and a lens, another suit. There's plenty cool items there. And again, these cards, they feel really nice and smooth and thick. That's a really good quality. That might be an improvement over the second edition. I'm not sure if those were this thick. This is, look at that. It's really good quality. Checkerboard cravat. Nice. Look at that. Like Dr. Octopus hands. So we have all of these. Let's check these out. All right, more cards. They have this symbol on the back, this diamond, this gem. And these are also items. They have this brain symbol on them here on the bottom. Recyclotron. Gramophone. Some cool stuff. I mean, the ideas that these cards all have. That's really cool. All right, and then we have these cards. So let's check those out too. So these are character cards. There is a bit of a backstory on these. Laurie Gerard, for example, and there is the actual stats and the art. Artemis Declan, this guy. Philip Carrain, which is this guy. Mackenzie Wallen. Hank Horden. Blenda Warren. It's cool, she looks like half an android. Kim Richards. Jesse Monroe. So those are the heroes. I'll put them, oh, they don't fit there. I need to fit them here. I'll put them here. And then we have these monsters. So all of these have standees as well. And the card tells you what they do, with a little bit of a fluff text there. Moonbeast, Thrall, Witch, Yadithian, Deacon, Flying Polyp, so cool, a Gug, Night Gaunts. Wow, it's creepy stuff. Shoggoth, Spawn of Atlachnacha, it's cool. Yithian, Dole, Spawn of Cthulhu. So we have all of those monsters as well. And I believe those are all the cards in the core box. Let's open up the expansions. This is the From Beyond expansion for Machina Arcana. Comes in a smaller box and has the contents on the back. No pictures, just an image of something that happens in the game. So let's open up the box and see what's inside. All right, put that away. So in here we have a small leaflet with things you can find in here. Recurrence, Geometry of the Void, basically 2 new chapters to add to your game, which of course have new cards, but also has some new heroes, some new explorers. So you can find that on the leaflet there. And then we have this punch board that has these 6 new explorers that you can choose to play. Some new monsters or additional monsters. Pretty cool, an Envoy of Hastur. And those are all double-sided. We have some more stands for those standees. Even a spot to put them in. And this also has, so even this has an insert to accommodate for all the cards, even though you can put them in the new core box. But if you had the second edition of the game and you just got the expansions, you can also store them in here and just put them on the box. And since these are half the size of the actual box, I'll show you, you can actually store that pretty easily on your shelf if you want that to, you know, kind of line up like this. So basically it's the same width and length, and you can put both boxes next to each other on the shelf. So it doesn't actually take up more space with the second edition and the separate expansion boxes as the third edition box that just holds everything. Right, let's take a look at these cards. So first of all, I'll take a look at these. So the heroes, Sir Nicola Frankopan. Here he is. Crafter. Sam Fairbanks. There he is. Or she is, perhaps. Sam could, of course, also be a woman. Samantha. Gunther Bergman. Looks like, kind of like a dwarf. I like this character. The dynamite and the big cigar, the red hair. Dainai Kasumba. She's a mystic. We have Sabina Nowak, also a mystic. Kind of creepy with the blood magic there. And this is a reversible card, so that's new. So when you die, flip this card and set your health to 2. So she kind of has like this blood fairy or whatever it is bursting out of her body. And you're ethereal. And John Abigail Crafter. And he can activate a workbench, which gives him kind of like a suit, I guess. Cool. And then we have these new monsters. We have the Color Out of Space. We have a Ghast, a Rat Thing, a Bokrug, a Ghoul, Dark Young, a Fire Vampire, and the Envoy of Haster. So there you go, that's these new cards. And we'll take a look at these. So these are again things that can happen. Arcane Veto with the symbol of the chapter that they belong to. So you have a nice bit of text that you can read, and something will happen then. You look at that, even has some art on some. That's pretty creepy. Oh my gosh, face infection, footworms, yikes, hand infection. Oh my god, nailed to this actually. Oh my god, now I have to continue. Oh, that actually makes me cringe quite a bit. Oh. All right, so we have all those cards. Now, next is this deck. And we have more of these cards in green and blue. Again, with the symbol here for the two chapters. Here's the other symbol. So plenty of cards with stuff to read. There is a lot of lore and text that went into the making of these games. More items, things you can wear in this case, and later things you can wield. So we have this, the labored stilts. That's pretty cool. Different kinds of armor. Ornithopter. Bloodlust ring. Shackles. Gas lamp. You name it. So yeah, we have these items as well. This is a deck of these. So yeah, all of those different cards, you'll have to sort them out, but are in this deck as well, in this expansion. There you go. And then we have these, but they're all color coded as well. As you can see, purple, green, gray, and brown. Harrower. Gatling gun. So there you go. That's all of these different cards. And then finally, of course, the chapter cards. So we have these two chapters. Well, I'll just again briefly flip over. Oh, this is the end, of course. We need to start here. Recurrence. So again, you flip over the cards and that'll tell you, look at that art. It's amazing. Yeah, I'm just gonna flip through those really quick just to show you the art. It's just super cool. And then new chapter here. Look at that. Nice. And that's that. All right. Okay, let's open up the other expansion. And this is To Eternity. So, nice blue box. On the back, again, a little piece of artwork, the box contents, and a bit of story, what this expansion is about. Let's check it out. So again, a leaflet here, To Eternity with the expansion. Rules, the chapter tiles, some new stuff that happens here. And cards that can have charges. Things to remember. Guest scenario designer, Roland Auer. Cool. All right, so we've got 2 punch boards in this one. We have 3 and another 3 new characters there. And a lot of new monsters. Laying Spiders, Envoys of Dagon, Hunting Horror. That's pretty cool. We even have these kids here. Look at that. Interesting. And here, got some others. 3 new explorers, like, you know, Jean-Luc Picard with an enormous mustache. Cho-chos. So yeah, double-sided once again. Chapter cards, the monster cards, more stands, of course, for the standees. Same insert as the other expansion, so you can keep everything sorted in its own expansion box if you want, or if you have the second or even first edition core games. So yeah, let's open up the first deck of cards. All right, here's Lorna Wallace, a bruiser, with the backstory there. We've got Ogolin Wallace, another bruiser. Yelena Petrovna, the mystic. The backstory here. Friederike Kiyama. And the backstory. Evangelia Dukakis, the gunman. She likes snakes. And here he is, Konstantinos Dukakis, who I always thought looked like Jean-Luc Picard with a very flamboyant mustache. Here's William White, little boy. And Gloria White. So we have actual, you know, siblings, just like the others, like brother and sister. And the monster cards, of course, with this on the back. So one of each. Grotesque monsters. The Cats of Ulthar. Cool. Wow, that's just some really, really creepy monsters there. All right, so there you go. That's the heroes and the monsters. Let's take a look at these. So more cards with icon on it to indicate the chapter. Again, 2 more chapters, I believe. Well, this is all the same, but we have a different symbol on that. So again, things that happen, you read a bit of flavor text and you execute what's on the bottom. So plenty of new things that happen here. All right, let's take a look at these. More of these cards. Again, all with the same icon. So that's different from the other expansion. With things that you can do. All right, let's just go through those quickly. It's mostly text. New items to check out. And once again, we have these green gear cards with more cool steampunky items that you can wear. Look at that. Combat blades, it's so cool. I love all of that. So we have those. Then we have these item cards. Rallying drum. talismans and automata. All right, so we have those. Then we have these gray cards. Portable door. I love this. All these things. And oh wait, I've gone past the gray cards. These are the brown cards, the items that you hold, weapons and things like that. Bow. So there you go. Those are all these cards. And finally, of course, the chapter cards. There you go. So it starts with this Genesis chapter. Once you flip over, you have a nice piece of art. And chapter 1. So yeah, and then you get all the art from the next chapters, which looks amazing. Even cards that kind of like have an extra bit of map, so that's interesting. Yeah, you can actually use these next to the maps. This adds to the tiles. That's new in this chapter. Well, that's pretty interesting. That's new. Look at that. Here. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Ooh. That is interesting. Can't wait to try that. Oh, look at all that art. So here is another chapter. More of these room tiles, more incredible art. I have to say, really, this art is so cool. It's really amazing. It's just very well done. All right. Yep. Endgame part 1 and Endgame part 2. And that's all of the chapter cards. All right, that's it. Okay, so I've sleeved all of the cards and managed to follow the instructions here on the last page of the guidebook to give everything its own spot. So to start with the cards, it tells you to put all the apparel cards sorted by level into these first 3 slots over here. So that means that's these cards, the green cards with the person on it, that's the apparel cards, and in the top left here it will have a number. This is the 1. So this is all level 1 material, and you just put all of those into the first slot here, and then the second slot is for the level 2 apparel, and of course this then is level 3. So then in the next 3 slots, according to the instructions here, you have the artifacts level 1, 2, and 3. So that's again the purple cards are the artifacts, level 1 with the number there. And that means this is level 2 and this is level 3. Then the third slots, or basically the 7th, is the consumables. These gray ones are the consumables with the asterisk or the star. Again, with the numbers there, so that's pretty easy to follow, and they fit nicely. As you can see, even sleeved, there's some wiggle room so you can get them out easily. So 1, 2, and 3, and you just toss the core game and the 2 expansions together with these cards. And then finally you have the weapons, which are the orange cards with the hand symbol, again with the levels 1, 2, and 3. And this second symbol underneath the number there tells you which expansion they are from. If there is no icon, it's the core game, and if it has these icons, it tells you which expansion they are from. And you can find that on these little leaflets that came with the expansions. So the first expansion here has the recurrence, that is the recurrence symbol, and the geometry of the void over there. So that's these two. And in the To Eternity, well, that was From Beyond, and this is To Eternity, and that has the kind of swirly icon that you see here as well on the cards. So that will tell you what is what if you ever need to, you know, sort them apart again. So those are all these cards. Then we have these smaller cards here, and that is the Explorer events. So these are sorted by expansion. So first of all, you have the core events. That's these cards, the blue ones with this nice star symbol on them. And they just have text mostly on them. So the core cards go into the first slot. Plenty of room there. And then you get the Horror in the Ice. Again, you can tell that this symbol over here has that symbol, which is Geometry of the Void in this case. Let's see. Oh, yes, they are in the other order. That's correct. I almost forgot. I did that wrong the first time too when I put them in. These on the right are actually the core cards. So I'll show you. These are the core events because they don't have a symbol on the top there. It's just blue cards with that text on them. Then you get Horror in the Ice, which is also from the core game, but has this this snowflake in the top right there. Let's see, I'm turning them around, I think. Need to put them in like this. Then we get the Statue of Despair, which is this symbol. Tiny little stone, obelisk statue, which are only a few cards, so that is a smaller slot. Then we get the Beast, which has this eye icon on the card over there. So that's the fourth slot there. And then we get the two expansions. So that means the Recurrence first. The Recurrence looks like this again. We've seen that. Then Geometry of the Void, which is this symbol once again. And finally we have the To Eternity expansion, and that's the swirly icon over there. So yeah, those are from right to left, starting with the core game, then the three chapters from the core game, the first expansion and the second expansion. So keep that in mind. I put them in the other direction first, and it just didn't work well enough. So that is the core over here. And beside them are the Explorer cards. Again, these are roughly equal in size, so it doesn't matter how you put them. But that's also core, From Beyond, and To Eternity in here. So I'll show you. One of these is simply the Explorer cards. So I put the core to the right here as well, and then first expansion, second expansion. These cards are the monster cards, and they are sorted by level. So you also just put them all together and you sort them by level 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this is level 1 here at the beginning, biggest slot. And let's see. Oh, this actually looks like a level 2 card. Did I put that in wrong? That might have slipped over. So yeah, level 1 cards have the 1 over there on the left in the middle. So you just take all of those cards and you put them in the first slot. Then the level 2 cards with the 2 over there, they go here, the second slot, level 3 and level 4. All right. Then we have the horror events. Again, from the core game, I believe this is the first slot. So that's these cards. They have no icon on the top. So these are all the core cards. Then again, just like with these cards here, you have the Horror in the Ice with the snowflake symbol, the Statue of Despair with the statue obelisk symbol, the Beast with the eye symbol, recurrence, geometry of the void, and to eternity. Just like this, basically, starting with core over here. So that's all the smaller cards, and then over here, of course, are the bigger cards, which is pretty straightforward. It's just one big slot. And sleeve, they just fit. If you know you still have some air in the sleeves, it spills over just a little bit, but there will be another insert on top of this, so it will compress. And it does, if you push down, it does fit inside, but at first you'll probably have some air puffing it up, but if you just store it like this, it'll compress and it'll be fine. So those are all the cards. They go in the bottom tray, and you have this spot left, which is for dice, other tokens, and closed door figures. So I'll show you. I just kept the dice in their Ziploc bag, just put them in there. I have all of these closed doors on their stands, so just complete standees, and I just put them in at the bottom here. So I've got 3 rows of 4 doors, which just fits, and I have that shiny nice token. I put that in there as well with these dice. So that basically makes up the bottom of this, and I still have some stuff left. So I just took the baggie, and I just fold that up, put that on top of that, and then these tokens don't actually have a slot, strangely enough, but I just put those in a Ziploc bag, and I just put those on top. I have these wooden markers with the star on it. Here the big one and the smaller ones. And those go on top as well. And I have a few spare tokens which did not fit into the tray that I have for them. It's a couple of these. There's 1 or 2 health tokens and one of these broken door tokens. They just didn't fit. I just had a couple left. So just put them in a bag as spares and just put them there. They're basically, you know, spares. So that makes up the entire bottom tray. I kept this. I'm just putting that on top of that. I mean, you could technically just toss it out, but I like that there's a kind of a divider there. So then we have this smaller top tray. Just put that on top of that. It fills the bottom half of the box. Of course, all of these go here. We've seen that. Here is a spot for the wooden tokens. So they go here. Then we have a slot for the taller standees. As you can see, there are slots here, which is basically for the stands. So you can put one in there that kind of keeps it level, and you can put one in the other direction and do the same here, 2 of these, and the same here, 2 of these, one at the end, and also one at the end here. Well, this sticks out just a little. I couldn't be helped. There is no slot at the end there, and I couldn't figure out how else to put them in. And here, this is basically a tray that has slots at the top and the bottom here. So here's a groove and here's a groove. And again, you just put these in and you can just fit like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 next to each other exactly. And then, you know, overlap 2 of them. And that just fits. So yeah, you can put those, the bigger ones, everything that's, you know, taller than the smallest ones, than the Explorers, you just put those there. Then we have this tray. This is a little bit tricky because that holds all the rest of the standees. So I take all of the smaller ones, and there's kind of like 2 sizes of smaller ones. This is slightly taller than this. But you can put 26 of them next to each other if you overlap the bases like this. So just put one in and put the second on top of that base, put the third on top of that base, etc. until you fill the entire thing, and you'll have 26 tokens in. And then you put the rest of them upside down on top of those and just wiggle them until they go all the way in, you know, until the cardboard doesn't hit the bases on the bottom, which is a bit of a hassle, I have to honestly say, but it does fit in the end. And I'm having a little bit, oh, this is a taller one, that's why it's not going any deeper. So yeah, you just have to kind of use all the space you have, and you will be able to fit all of these inside of this tray. Although yeah, if you need to find a specific one, you basically are just taking them all out again anyway. So, I mean, you could put them in alphabetical order, which will probably help with searching what you're looking for or finding what you're looking for. But as you can see, it does fit in the end. And it does have a lid that prevents them from falling out, which is good, which is great. So you put that into your box, and if you put it, you know, sideways, it'll stay in place. Then you have this board, the chapter board, which you just put on top of all of this. And then we have, I like to put my leaflets in here as well, just to keep them there. Then we have this tray, which has all of these tokens, these 4 tokens. That fits easily. Then there's a slot for these broken door tokens, which I had 1 extra, but I couldn't squeeze it in, and I still need to take them out as well, so you know. And I had 2 of these tiles. They go to the side here. They kind of form a wall to keep these in place. These are all the health tokens, the little heart tokens, and they go in here. So, like, as you can see, that's these tokens. So they go in here, and I just managed to squeeze these in, and I had 1 or 2 left. And these tokens go here, same story. You can put a whole lot of them in here. I mean, I could squeeze an extra one in here, but then it would be hard to take out. And you could also put a few of them to the side of these, but also, you know, I like that these have a bit of wiggle room. That's probably all I'm gonna need anyway. So then you can put the lid on top of that to keep them from falling out again, and put that on top of this, which leaves a space for, of course, the tiles. And you just put the tiles on top of that, and that evens out nicely, nice and flush, more or less. I mean, yeah, that's pretty flush. And then you can just put the guidebook on top of that, the manual on top of that. We have these character, the player aids. I'll put those in between so I don't accidentally fold them. And that's everything back in the box, and you can see how nicely that fits. So this holds the core game plus the 2 expansions. And there you go, a nice little reboxing for those of you who've managed to stay until the end of this unboxing video. So that's pretty cool. And there we go. Sneaky reboxing of Machina Arcana 3rd edition. So that was my unboxing of Machina Arcana 3rd edition, plus the expansions by Uri Bilic and Adreama Games. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And also please check out my Patreon page by clicking the link in the description below or the logo at the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Board Game Heaven.